Hello, everyone. My name is Audra Burwell, the Coordinator for College Bridge, here with Mr. Adam Cano, the principal of Gustine High School. All right. So my first question is, can you share how the Math Bridge program first came to your attention and how it was integrated as a class at Gustine High School?
So Dr. Ballinger and Kim Medeiros, Director of Curriculum Instruction, came to me and said we have this opportunity for students to take a college course in math on Gustine High School's campus. So we went to our first meeting at Merced College, and that's where I was introduced to Math Bridge and the partnership that we were going to embark on. As that went through, then our focus was, what kids, would benefit from this, from this course. I knew we were under some requirements and everything, so that's when we started doing our due diligence and finding that crop of students that would thrive in this class.
Oh, wonderful. And what role did you play in launching the first Math Bridge cohort at Gustine, and how did you help build staff support for the program?
So one, we had, we knew we had a teacher that had a master's that could teach the class. And then we worked with Math Bridge in regards to, college professors and things like that. And then we looked at, well, Mr. De Leon, is getting his master's, so he would be a good co-teaching partner with Mrs. Kaur. Mm-hmm. So we looked at that internally first, and so we got that solidified, got the teachers to buy in and everything like that. And then I worked with the counseling office to identify, who would be a good selection for this. So, parent meetings, a lot of counseling meetings, and then kind of working with, the Math Bridge project group as a whole. I know I spoke to a lot of different people, had a lot of different meetings. And so we built that foundation from there of just understanding what our role is as a school site, what our teacher's role is, and then what our counseling department's role is.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Yeah, we appreciate how hands-on you've been so far in the project. Yeah. How do you see Math Bridge aligning with the overall academic goals of Gustine?
So that's what our conversations are now. So as we look for progression through our math, we're looking down at the 8th grade. I know 8th grade's taking integrated math 1 now, but we're looking at where does this end? Where does it, with a statistics class? Do we split it off and start a calculus class? So those have been the conversations of just that math pathway. Mm-hmm. So we've been really, really fortunate to have students go beyond our 2-year math requirement. Mm-hmm. Last year we had 89% of our juniors take a math class and 66% of our seniors do. So it's just kind of looking at that pathway. How is it going to benefit? One of our biggest things right now is when they're taking it as 8th graders, it becomes a 5th year of math. How do you keep them in that pathway without, I don't want to say burning them out, just making sure that they understand that, yeah, it's great that they're taking integrated 1 at 8th grade, but what does the end result look like? So we're looking at the end result right now in regards to, integrated 1, integrated 2, then where do they go? Because it gets a little murky of where they go, and that's working with CCGI, what their actual intentions are after, high school, are they calculus, are they stats? Because we don't have a calculus class, we have a pre-calc, but then actually, comparing statistics and calculus, how do they bridge off? Because in the near future, we might have 2 teachers with, masters, on campus. So that's a good problem to have, but that is the wonder right now, is what does it look like for an incoming 9th grader or an 8th grader that's taking it, of the end result of it.
Yeah, no, those are great questions to consider, and we're happy to customize next year's courses for whatever your needs are.
And I believe that's been in our conversation is calculus has gotten brought up at the our last meeting with Lynn, is like what does this look like? Because not everybody is going to go to that statistics. How are we pushing kids over to when we're actually looking at the data, what are their actual interests are. So,
yeah, exactly. It's like if you have the student body that are interested in STEM,
Right.
then like we're more than happy to offer
Yeah.
the calculus.
Yeah.
I know stats kind of covers all bases because
Right.
most STEM majors also take stats, but still, though, it's like the calc will build them up more for once they get to college.
So how that's just our notice and our wonder and the good concern to have, but we got to be with it along the way.
Yeah.
So it's like, we drop the class in, and it's like, it's not what do you do with it now? It's like, okay, how do you get them there? How do you promote it? How do you deal with it? So last year was just that first year promotion. Okay, we got it. Now it's embedded in our, master schedule. Okay, how do you get, now you got to track those kids to know what you're actually putting them in. Okay, are we putting them in stats, or are they clearly going to this other path? And that starts at, at the freshman, sophomore age.
Yeah, no, it's important to support them at every step.
Yeah.
Keep checking in.
Yep.
So, what kind of feedback have you received from teachers like Amandeep, Kaur, and Juan, Murillo, about teaching this new blended high school college model?
I think we've gotten positive feedback. I mean, it's, we've had no complaints, which is good.
That's good.
But I believe just how the course is set up of just preparing for the second semester and preparing for that course, it's just given kids an understanding that that this is just kind of our launch. So we're launching into a course that now, I'm preparing myself for this instead of just it being first semester, throwing them into a college course, and now I'm barely keeping my head above water. So it's given everybody, the adults and the students, an understanding, okay, this is what we're actually preparing for when we move into the second semester. And in January that, now it's the college credit class. It's this, full on stats class. And the preparation of them getting time, getting time to go out and get developed, ask questions, understand some things. But, I think we have the right mix of teachers and we have the right mix of students in there.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I think I visited the class once and it looked like they made a great team.
Yeah,
and
really good team.
That's awesome. So glad. How has the collaboration with Merced College changed the instructional culture at Gustine, if at all?
Collaboration is huge, and Merced College has been awesome. Everybody we've talked to, it's just from counseling in Nicole to Lynn to their Victoria, I think.
Yeah.
Everybody is just on the same path. It's an aligned vision of what the end game is, what the end result is for the students. And so everybody we talk to is, yes, we might have this little concern here. We're seeing these barriers. It's, the feedback forms, it's all those things. And it's just like, how do we help you?
Yeah.
And that's been the beauty of Merced College. It's just, how do we help you?
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to hear. We always try to handpick as supportive of a structure as we can. So.
It's a really good structure.
Good. I'm so glad. What are your hopes for the future of MathBridge, and how would you like to see the program evolve? And I know we've touched on this a little bit, like concerning calc and whatnot.
I think Lynn said it best, just kind of a warm handoff that it becomes ours with your support. It's kind of this partnership right now. We always want to remain partners, but we don't see it going away. So how does that fit in our world and your supportive world and everything like that? So, we've been, with grants and everything that, hey, 2 years, and then we kind of try to figure it out. Sustainability is what we're looking for. So how do we sustain and grow in math? And with the support of MathBridge, Merced College, or whoever, just the same personnel. You always want to continue those partnerships, and that's our biggest thing right now, is continuing the partnership with you guys.
Oh, certainly. We're happy to continue it, and I know this next year will be our last year with this grant funding, but we're looking for other sources so we can hopefully move into more of an independent, autonomous organization. So then those requirements for the DPA and all that can kind of go away, and we can be more flexible. Right. So
that's our biggest thing, is just the sustainability. So we don't want it to be a 2-year thing and then now we're scrambling to do whatever. We want to make sure that students understand that this is here to stay.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
We want to be here to stay as
Right.
well.
Yeah.
All right, this is the last question. What has been the response from parents as they learn more about MathBridge and what it offers?
I think that's our biggest challenge, is just getting the parents to understand. It's not understand that this is going to be a positive. They understand it's a positive.
Mm-hmm.
What is their actual role?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's just our thing as a high school, you know, and every high school is just trying to get those parents to buy into what we're selling, to make sure they understand. They totally support it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but do they have questions? So we're trying to get that feedback. That's our biggest thing, is the feedback from the parents and the feedback from the students. And so, you know, when we have our parent meetings, we have not discussed that there's issues or anything like that. Sometimes the feedback from the parents is, what's this form for? What are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
Why do we need to sign this? Why do we need to do this? And so that's our biggest thing. Now we know to get ahead of it.
Mm-hmm.
We were running parallel with it. And now we know that it's going to be here next year, getting, you know, the kids slotted already, and then actually pulling those parents in, having conversations and
Mm-hmm.
telling them the why.
Yeah.
This is the why. You know, it's a project that is being tracked and everything. This is why, you know, we need your information. But other than that, I believe they trust our system, they trust our school, and they know they know we're doing what's best for the kid.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I'm glad to hear there
Yeah.
haven't been any concerns. But
Yeah,
we
zero concern.
We completely understand with the research side of things. Sometimes it's confusing.
Yeah, it's just, you know, you get the parents of, okay, it's a math class, so why are we doing some things like that? Why do we need to fill this out? And it's just that research, you know, that research-based stuff that they really don't. We need to educate them on.
Yeah.
And the programs that we're in, or the partnerships that we're in, come with this alignment and come with, you know, documentation sometimes.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I know in the spring, usually Nicole will offer like information sessions for parents too.
Yeah.
So we can definitely customize that as much as needed
amazing.
for parents for next year's cohort.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thank you again for making the time, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And thank you for
very
all
much.
those watching.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.